There we go.
Are
We'll be
we?
live.
Did we make it?
We made it.
Sweet. I was worried there for a second. I thought it
Yeah.
was over.
Hey guys, it is official. We are starting up episode 5 of TyriaNow.
5 of these.
5 of these. You know,
We might have missed one last week.
we might have. We
Yeah.
delayed it by a
Yeah.
week. So we'll be.
Slightly postponed. It's gonna be
So
fine.
we got to figure out if we're going to do a show next week to get back on cadence or if we're just going to continue on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So I
But
am
we
Miko.
do. Yeah, so we have an extra week of stuff to cover.
Yeah, but it works. I am
hmm
Miko. He is Aaron, and we're going to be talking about good old Tyria and Guild Wars 2 today. Um,
What's been happening? What's been
what's
happening
been
with
going
Guild
on?
Wars?
Yeah, what have you been up to? Well, you haven't been streaming, have you?
I have so here's dude, my life is interesting. I
Hmm.
started going to the gym.
I
I
saw.
took a break. Yeah, I took a break from streaming, and then I started streaming again. But I'm streaming Tetris now.
Yeah, I did. Hmm.
I'm still in it. Like I'm still invested in Guild Wars. I'm just taking a bit of a break from it. But I have been in to play with the Warclaw,
That's good.
so
Warclaws.
I do have thoughts and opinions on that.
Hmm.
Like, don't sweat it, guys. I'm not without opinions. Okay, I've come with opinions to
You
this
always come
party.
with opinions.
Yeah,
So,
it's gonna be a good time.
so you've been doing that. I've been on vacation and still raiding while on vacation.
So you rated in England?
I did. I did. I was up a couple of nights till like 2 in the morning,
Wow.
and then I'd go to sleep. There were some raids that I had to cancel because I was like, dude, I've got like to take a trip early in the morning. Um, but
I mean, you got to keep your skills sharp, right? You can't just go not raid for two
well,
weeks.
there was that, and then there was also, that viability competition that Snow Crows and Roka put on.
hmm
So we were participating in that. We entered,
Ah, okay.
so we did that.
I
We had
actually
a
I stealth entered that myself. I just didn't tell anybody. I went on a different account.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you should
It
have.
didn't. It didn't happen. I lied.
I know. We're Yeah, so the results for that will be getting released tomorrow or announced tomorrow on Roka's stream at 5 o'clock
How was that? Was that a
Central
fun
European
time?
time. Yeah, it was fun. We had to. The hardest part of getting that boss was actually organizing ourselves to like all get online at the same time in the middle of the week to try it out.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So coordinating schedules. We were trying to see if we could get extra practice runs in, but we just ended up being like 8 o'clock Wednesdays. Let's go.
Gotcha.
So we only really did it what twice, Josh? Two Wednesdays, and then last week or this week actually, a couple days ago is when we sat down to it and we went for our kill, and it was good.
It went good.
Yeah, it went pretty good. We had
Awesome.
fun. We had fun,
Awesome.
so we entered, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
hmm Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
You'll have to talk about how you did on the next
I
episode.
will. I will. Yeah, yeah. It could have been a bit smoother, but it was all right. We had
Hey,
a
at
we had a
least I
good.
wasn't on your team.
We were happy with our kill time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still everyone was up at the end. We had a couple of downs in the middle, but we got up quickly.
Mm.
So, but it was good. We kept beating our own time, so that was awesome.
Yeah. That's the idea, I think. So.
Yeah, with an off meta comp. So now we have no
Ooh.
excuse for when we go back with a meta comp to
Yeah.
like fail on it.
Just go back with the off meta comp, and
That's
then
what I'm saying.
yeah, easy fix.
Yeah. So that's what I did, and that's what you've been doing.
Yep.
So should we get this party started?
Yeah. What's the big news that we haven't talked about on the show yet? What's the biggest thing?
That Warclaw. That Warclaw goodies.
Yeah.
Goodies.
We haven't talked about. We haven't been able to talk about our playtime with the Warclaw yet.
No, we both got it pretty, that first week?
I got it the first
You
night.
got it first night, and I waited I think until that first weekend is when I got mine finally.
Hmm.
It's pretty good.
What? Tell me about your experience with the Warclaw so far.
It hasn't been very much because I got it, and then we finished up the WW night. But I like riding around on it. It's kind of slow, kind of like the Griffin, kind of slow when it just
I
galumphing along.
believe they said when you were in allied areas. Now I
Yep.
know there've been tweaks to it, but I think on launch in allied areas, it's the same speed as the Griffin,
Hmm.
which I think is a 69% movement speed boost.
Yeah, it's still it. I think because
It's
of its
not nearly as
animations.
much as the Raptor,
No.
or yeah.
The animations on it kind of trick your eye into thinking that you might be moving a little bit faster, I think. But it's still kind of slow. I like its pounce move, the animation on its pounce move, and in the roar. So, uh,
Well, it's still much faster than running on foot though.
yeah,
Even in enemy, and that's because of the jump. Now they've shortened the jump, so they have come. It's we're what 2 almost 3 weeks out from Warclaw launch
yeah,
at this point. So they've released some updates
yep,
that have made some changes on launch, and I played it on launch, and I'll admit this was very powerful.
yeah,
The leap that you can do with it
hmm
made it kind of OP
yeah.
for getting from point A
Well,
to
that
point
and it would
B.
hit like what was it, 10? No, 3 players. It could down like 3 players,
It
and
could down five,
five.
I
Was it
want to
5? Yeah,
say, on launch. They've reduced that to three,
that's what it
I
was.
think.
And then the bleed stacks that it put on people, I think they reduced that as well.
Yeah, the reason the pounce was considered overpowered, and I admit it was, is
It
because of the
was, yeah,
amount of people. Because when you have a Zerg fight in WW, you have a lot of down people right
yeah,
away. Um, and since rallies are only, you can only one kill is one rally. You can't have
right,
10 people rally off one kill anymore in World for World.
right.
So chat is saying they think it was 10. Yeah, it might even have been 10, which is
Hmm.
pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it was
Um,
way too strong.
so when you can stomp 10 people at once, but you can only rally on a 1-to-1 ratio,
Yeah,
you know. Um, so they reduced it to three, I want to say. I think you can stomp three people now with the pounce instead of 10. I personally think three still might be a little
yeah.
powerful, but you got to incentivize people to use the mount in some capacity, right?
And I think too, there's been from the WDevers that I've been talking to, there's still kind of an adaptation point period that we're going through on
Yeah.
how to strategize for it, how to strategize using it, and then also to prepare for other players using it. And that's still, I think that there is a certain amount of players that might not like change and so don't want to adapt or don't like the fact that they have to adapt and are kind of quitting. But then there's others that it's like, well, let's change up our gameplay style here, and maybe it's not a bad thing.
Well, I'm not going to go as far as to say that there aren't problems with it, right? Like there definitely are. Now, are they worth quitting the game mode over? I
I
wouldn't say
mean,
so.
I
But
yeah, I don't
the
think there are, but
there are some legitimate concerns. Even after nerfing the leap, so they nerfed the leap skill from that you get three of. You get two leaps by default, and then if you boost the mastery up high enough, you can get an additional leap.
hmm
They nerfed the range on that. I don't remember what the exact range numbers are, but they brought it down so that leap isn't so ludicrously overpowered now. It's still going to be nice for moving from like around the map, but it's less than before. Even so, roamers are having a tough time
yeah,
because havoc response time is so good now. So if you're
right,
roaming, right, you're going to be in enemy territory a lot of the
yeah,
time, which means them trying to get to you, they're going to be on their mount and they're going to have a better movement speed because they're in their own territory.
yep,
So people can respond to roamers trying to flip camps and sentries very
very
quickly
quickly.
now. And a lot of roamers are having an issue with that. I saw a little bit of this when I was roaming, but I also have a maxed out Warclaw. So I wasn't having nearly as much of an issue with, say, somebody who didn't have their third leap unlocked on their
Right.
Warclaw, or someone who just had a basic Warclaw, right?
Hmm.
But I definitely saw the beginnings of this starting to happen. And if I'd played that whole week, I probably would have seen a lot more of it. But I also think that's something they can bring in line with better balancing,
Yeah.
right? I don't think it. I don't think it means the Warclaw is broken, right?
Right.
It just needs to be changed,
Yeah.
which they can do.
Yeah. And the short-term fix, right? They're going to fix it so that your dismount or that your engagement dismounts both players. Um, I'm looking at the notes now and I've lost my place on them.
Oh,
On the balance post that Ben posted, Ben P. They're going to remove the jump on the dismount. It's one of the biggest things used to bypass walls and gates. Mounts will no
yeah.
longer be able to be stealthed.
I think
Um,
that's a good call.
I
Yep.
think it's a good call as well. They're
One
working on a
thing.
new mounted skill to dismount other mounted players, which I think that's good as well. And this is also going to dismount yourself.
hmm And I think that's fair. Just so people can have a chance at having a legitimate fight. When a mount
Yeah.
comes up.
Yeah,
One thing
it shouldn't be
I
too much of it. It shouldn't. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was just going to say it doesn't. It shouldn't be so much of an advantage to have the mount when if
mhm.
you're on foot in
I mean,
comparison.
it needs to be an advantage, but you need
Right.
to have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one of the things I liked about how they implemented this is the pounce skill does not do a lot of damage. It
Right.
hits like a wet noodle. You hit someone with your pounce, do
Mhm.
a couple thousand damage,
Right.
right? It's not very good DPS, but it does cover distance.
Right.
So and the animation's really cool.
I do like the
Um,
animation, and it roars
yeah.
when it pounces, which I think is just precious.
Yeah, so I still found myself using the pound skill just
Mhm.
for the sake of liking it, but
Mhm.
it's not it's honestly I when I would go find other players, I found myself dismounting before engaging because my weapon skill engage is better.
Right.
Um so that's something I think they balance well, but like in a Zerg scenario, you want to use it to
Right.
get those insta downs,
Right.
which I think is a good situational application for it, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, the big thing was being able to break into keeps without knocking the gate down because
Right.
the mount jump and the leaps, right?
Right.
They've proved most of that. I
Yeah.
think there are still some that you can do
Mhm.
because there's always like the people are always going to be like, oh, I can shimmy into here if you use this bug, right? And it's just
Right.
like okay, but disabling the mount jump. So when you dismount off a mount, you do this little jump off of its back,
Mhm.
and that's a very high jump. So disabling that fixed a lot of it, and
Yeah.
then nerfing the leap fixed a lot of it as well, from what I understand.
And my understanding, because I haven't gotten any higher than just the basic, but my understanding is that the utility skills that you unlock with your Path of Fire masteries, they didn't translate over. Am I correct about that?
No,
Or
you don't get those in War of the World. No, that
so
would be
yeah, so you,
that would be insane.
yeah, because you get them in PvE,
Yeah, you can have
right?
them on that mount in PvE,
Yeah.
but yeah, that would be crazy to have those
Oh,
in
I
War of the
know.
World.
Yeah. So I thought that was a good decision that they didn't bring
Oh
them
yeah,
into
definitely,
War of
because
the World.
Bond of Vigor would just be stupid in
Mhm.
W Dubs. So
Yeah.
that's good that you
And the
can't do
dismount
that.
one, the
Hmm
Bond of Life or whatever it's not Bond of Life, but anyway, you know which one I mean. Number 8.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I think that's a good thing. But I think the changes that they're talking about making to it to
hmm
bring it in more in balance, they sound good.
Yeah, working on a dismount trap as a
Yeah.
medium long term goal. That's a good idea. God, traps. Imagine they're not super. Like there are some like plays people will make with traps. Like it does
Yeah.
happen, but overall they're kind of underutilized right now. People don't really focus much on them, from what I understand.
Right.
And then the new mounted skill to dismount other players. That's a good idea as well. And the post says they're like all of this in the post. This is a really well done post. The post does not promise anything,
No.
right? It merely says the ideas they have right now and what they'd like to implement. But it has the caveat for the whole post is, these are subject to change,
Yeah.
which is really smart. It's a really smart way to do posts like this because now players can't. I mean, they will, but they technically can't like lose their minds over maybe not getting some of this stuff, right? Because it could just not pan out.
Yeah.
Which I think is, if that happens, it's okay. I like the idea of adding a break bar too. That's kind of cool.
I do like that idea as well. It would be interesting
Hmm.
having to use some CC on them to.
As far as I'm aware, you have break bars on like the champions that guard keeps and stuff, but we don't have any serious
Yeah.
break bar play in World v
Think.
World, so that could
Yeah.
add a layer to the gameplay.
And how hard that break bar would be.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um.
and
Because.
how siege affects it too.
Right.
How siege could affect it as well.
Yeah.
Would be like if you could smash an entire Warclaw bar with a ballista shot.
Hmm.
That would incentivize the like people already use ballistas when they're like two-man defending a camp, but as an added thing against a Warclaw would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Also, because cavalry charges are being kind of a thing right now, which is kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
It would be a great situation to use a anti-Warclaw trap or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like that'd be sweet. So if you saw a whole Zerg doing their charge, and then they all just
Yeah.
dismount, that'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
I'd love to see stuff like that. So yeah, I think all these changes are good ideas. I'm excited to see what comes of those ideas.
Hmm. For sure. Uh,
Chat would the mount dismounting animation be two cats wrestling? I don't know. It depends on if it's a range skill or a melee skill, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Although that would be kind of cool.
That would be pretty CPU intensive having a
Yeah.
full Zerg anti dismount each other.
Yeah.
Having that
and
animation.
and and the and the lag already in World v World and from the different effects and whatnot. I don't know if that would be. They would have to they would seriously have to optimize. I think the game mode before
Hmm.
they could implement something like that.
Yeah, and like we touched on it earlier, but I think people are hyperbolizing
Hmm.
the effect a little bit. Things are always really janky when features first come out, right?
Sure.
So, like if WW is a little and a little, it's been pretty imbalanced for a couple weeks with the Warclaw.
Hmm.
Just give it a bit of time. This is how
Yeah.
MMOs have always been since EverQuest. All right,
Yeah.
things take new features take a long time to iron out, but I think once it's properly, at least sufficiently balanced, I think it'll be a nice addition to the game. But again, I'm not an expert, right? There's going to be someone that comes in like I have 10,000 hours in World v World and I
Right.
hate them out.
Yeah.
Sure, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I just
No.
think we need to give them some time to implement some changes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um,
I like it. I mean, I don't think I
I do.
said that I like it, but I like it. I think it's
I
cool.
think our the poll that we put out earlier this week or
Yes.
yesterday actually, because my days have all run into each other. Yeah, we've got 12% so far are hyped for the changes, and 12% are annoyed
Dude,
by the by the
split right
nerfs.
down the middle. Yeah.
Split right down the middle. So yeah,
Yeah, it's the casuals saying they're hyped for the changes.
WW casual right here.
Yeah,
PVE noob right there.
it's us casuals.
Yeah. So yeah. Any other things that you want to say about the World Claw?
Chat says that they like the mount too, and it makes WW bearable. I liked WW before, but I just like being like PVE has made me like being mounted up,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me annoyed when I'm not when I play
Yeah.
World v World. So being able to mount up in World v World is it's almost just like a comfort thing,
Yeah.
like a blanket. It
Yeah.
gives me that sense of security as I'm moving throughout the map.
And which
Yeah.
is, I think, when like when gliding was introduced into WW, it was that kind of same thing. It's like we were used to gliding already in the open world, so if you want to jump off a cliff and
The
not
weird
fall to
thing
your
about
death.
gliding in World v World, I don't use it very much.
I tend to use it only if I'm trying to catch up.
You can only
Or
glide in your own territory, and
yeah,
since I do a lot of roaming solo, I'm often not in my own territory.
right.
So most of the time, I can't glide with what I'm doing in the game mode. So,
Mm-hmm.
but Warclaw, I just take a
Warclaw.
little bit of a speed hit, and like I said, it's still better than running on foot, even in
Mm-hmm.
enemy territory. So I'm
Yeah.
always on it,
Yeah.
100% of the time. So yeah, I just it feels like a major quality of life improvement for
I
someone who
think so.
plays World v World like I do.
Yeah. Um. So that's our thoughts on on the Warclaw so far. Mount's nice, but
Um,
it does make roaming a bit harder. Yeah, we've
Yeah, and I was talking
seen
about
many
that
roll.
earlier. I am a roamer in World, like exclusively, like
Ro-
it's all I do
yeah.
in World v World.
So Rawl is one of my raiders who also is a big WW, and he's like roaming is his life. He loves to
Mhm.
roam.
Yeah.
So he's had thoughts on this that he's been sharing during our raids
Oh,
the past couple
I'm not going
days.
to say it doesn't affect roaming. It
Oh,
100%
absolutely.
does. Yeah, it 100% does. Like did a bit of roaming on it, and um, I found myself having a lot more like having to defend my objective captures a lot more because people are getting there more
Faster.
quickly, right?
Hmm.
So when I'm capping a camp, I have to defend a lot more often. It's not the end of roaming, but yeah, it's tougher out there for sure.
Sure.
It's tougher out there for sure. It's going to incentivize you to find a more empty borderland if all you want to do is cap objectives. If you want fights,
Then.
it shouldn't really be an issue, right? You're probably going to get more of them.
Hmm.
But if you're like me and you just want to flip stuff and go from camp to camp, it's going to make your life a little bit harder. But I'm prepared to deal with it.
Yeah. So you like the way it's changed your roaming gameplay?
Like I said, I would rather have them out and have to fight a little more often than not have them out. Like
Yeah.
just the comfort of playing with a mount is worth it to me.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. I'll be hopping into WW after the show.
Mm,
So we'll see how it's changed my life down there.
very cool, very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I don't have a lot of perspective on the Zerg side of things because I don't really play that. But
Right.
I'm like from what I hear, it does have an effect there too.
Well, we were running into, I mean, this is obviously when it was first week. We had people who were glitching and getting stuck on their mounts.
Hmm.
And then some Zergs were kind of abusing that. Enemy Zergs were
Yeah,
abusing that. So,
I can see that, and obviously bugs and glitches are going to be things they're going
yeah,
to
and
address.
it
I
seems
believe
like,
they've addressed several of them already.
yeah. And they're trying to they're working on a fix for people who've been stuck on their mounts and still having their 3 evades. It looks like
Yep.
so. Hopefully that'll come in soon. Tuesday would be nice if they were able to get it into the patch, which is coming on Tuesday, which we'll get
Yeah,
to
that'd
a
be
little bit later.
spectacular.
So I know you put this in like big caps or bigger font in our notes here. The Istan nerf. What have
I'm
you got
so
to?
sad.
I know.
I'm so sad.
I thought you would be when I saw it. 'Cause I was like, oh dear.
So yeah, they finally nerfed Istan. Again, we haven't done a show in 3 weeks, so this is a
Catching up.
little this is a little bit of catch up, but the Istan farm has taken a significant hit. So they nerfed this before this.
Yes, they did.
And what they did was they made it so you can only get one round of chests per day from events,
Yeah.
which wasn't the end of the world. This
Right.
farm was still good. It was still a solid 20 gold an hour, for the average pleb doing it.
Ah.
If you wanted to min max it, you could get 25 to 30, right? It was still a good farm.
Mm-hmm.
But now what they've done is they have, to read it verbatim, Domain of Istan, the Defeat Warden Amala event will now spawn a total of 5 champions over its duration, regardless of event scale. Considering this used to spawn 24 champions,
That's a big hit.
this is a nerf.
Big time.
This is bad. So a majority of the profit you would make from the Istan farm was in Palawan phylacteries, which are chant bags from awakened enemies in Path of Fire and Living World 4 content.
Mm-hmm.
And what those basically do is you just get a crapload of rare and masterwork unidentified gear from them,
Right.
which if you open those at high magic find is very valuable, or if you just even sell them on the trading post, it's very valuable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so since you get the majority of your chant bags from chaining Amala events from map to map, so you'll get more chant bags on a Palawadan event versus an Amala event, but you can't chain Palawadan like you can Amala.
Right.
You can do an Amala, swap maps, and do another one, and swap maps and do another one. You can get 5 done between Palawadan events. So Amala was responsible for the majority of the money you would make in this farm if you're doing it correctly with a good squad and good commander. So them nerfing this is kind of the nail in the coffin nerf for the farm. It's pretty much bad now.
Istan farm is dead now.
It's still good for Unbound Magic
Mm-hmm.
if you want to farm that and buy trophy shipments. It's still good for discounted tier 6 mats, but it's crap for an overall gold farm now. Back to Silver Waste.
I was gonna say you're back to the Silver Waste then.
Yep, back to Silver Waste.
Yeah.
And it makes me worried too. It makes me worried about Silver Waste.
Well, the changes that they're making with the unidentified gear, which you mentioned, and they're bringing unidentified gear to Central Tyria. So I don't remember unidentified gear dropping in the Silver Waste, which is considered core Tyria.
No, it only drops in Path of Fire Plus.
So now we're going to be getting it there.
I don't know. How is this going to... So, is this going to be like anytime... So, in Silver Waste, for instance, you get a lot of rares as... you get something called bags of rare gear from Silver Waste, which is a guaranteed rare. Is that just going to become unidentified rare gears?
So the thing, I don't know. It's going to affect, Magic Find will affect the drop rate of the unidentified gear, but Magic Find is no longer going to affect like what happens when you open or salvage, is what they said.
Which is gonna crash the price on unidentified gear completely on the trading post, because that's why people buy them on the TP for money. Is because if you crank their MF up and open them, you will profit off of it.
Right.
So that's why you can sell green unidentified gear. It's a masterwork item, right? But it sells for 5.5 silver.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, man. I have a theory about this. It's a very cynical theory, but it's really come out shown in the way they've been constructing Season 4 of Living World and Season 3. I think they want you to log in and your whole play session to be dailies.
Which...
That's what I think. I think they want your entire play session to
just
be
run
dailies.
through the whole gamut of dailies.
Yeah, do your core Tyria dailies, get your 2 gold. Do your WW dailies, get your potions. Do your PvP dailies, get your potions. Do all your Season 3 dailies, get all your Unbound Magic. Do all your Season 4 dailies, get all your BM. I think that's what they want. I mean, they want you... Look at how they did the last Living World 4 map. You've got 2 daily farms, 2 daily events. You can get 1+ gold item worth on the trading post. Or you can combine that to do a daily room puzzle that you can get about 2 gold worth of loot out of. It's all dailies. Everything they put in is dailies. They nerfed Istan into a daily.
Yeah, they did.
It's all they want you doing.
Which doesn't make sense. Like, I don't
know why they care what I'm doing while I'm logged in.
Right. That's it.
But
it's like I don't want to do dailies, I'm not going to do dailies. And
the theory is that it gets people in every map as opposed to people
I
just
understand
sitting in
the
one
theory
map.
behind it, because I can see that like pushing people to play certain maps so that they're not empty.
And I think that's the theory, is to even the player base out and just have people in those maps every day. That's why you have like that's what Aurora does for season 3 maps, right? The reason you see people in season 3 maps is for Aurora and to farm currency for ascended trinkets, right?
Yeah.
You don't have ascended trinkets for season 4, but you have trophy shipments for volatile magic, which are ludicrously good, right? So if you can get people doing every map for their volatile magic dailies to get trophy shipments, then you have active season 4 maps.
Right.
It's not how I like to play.
No. And one of the criticisms has been that I don't know why this is going low. That those maps have not really been replayable. Really?
Well, you've got the Shatterer meta that has a high value infusion in Jahai Bluffs. And then you've got the new meta that's worth a couple gold a day, plus Dwarven Room in whatever that new map is called. Thunderhead
Peaks?
Thunderhead Keep? Peaks. Yeah, Peaks. Keep is Gilbert's one.
Yes.
God, Sandswept Isles has a good meta. It's not super profitable, but it's one of my favorite metas to just play.
Yeah.
Corna sucks. And then Istan has been nerfed into the ground. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I truly think that they want to make the whole game just a daily run through. And it's depressing to me a little bit. I'm still going to play, right? Like Guild Wars 2 is the best.
Yeah.
But it's not how I like to play.
No.
I mean,
I'd rather just make the gold the way that I want to play. Don't force me to go into a map if I don't want to be there.
Exactly. And that's like, I don't know. I like to find a thing that I can chill out with and chill out with it, right? And I find, because now the whole thing is going to be like, all right, well, here's your sick farming guide for every season 4 daily and do a map run. And here's how you can do it in 90 minutes, right?
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, that just makes me groan. Like, it just makes me groan out loud. But chat does ask, do you think they keep Silver Race profitable because that's where the booster character goes, possibly showing a super active map to a new player? I think the farm will still be profitable, even if they make the transition over to unidentified gear. And with the unidentified gear changes, I think the farm will still be good. The sheer amount of gear you get, and as long as they don't change normal chant bags, if they don't change core Tyria chant bags, it's still going to be a good farm.
Sure.
It's all about chant bags.
Right. But I mean, the way that they've decided to deal with chant bags in Istan, I'm just wondering if they're going to lower the drop rate in Silver Race as well, or...
Well, Silver Race, it's all about the chests. It's all about the chests. So they would have to nerf the frequency with which you can dig up chests. That would be what they would have to nerf, which they've already done before. I mean, they were broken at launch. We don't even need to talk about that. But I won't lie, being able to do a chest run every meta, what they would do is, here's how they would nerf it. I can almost guarantee it. They would make it so you have a set chest spawn per foothold. And you can open those, and however many of those chests you find and open for that foothold you can have. But they're not going to respawn for the rest of foothold. That would be my guess as to how they would nerf it. It would still allow you to get about 35 chests per foothold, which would be good. But right now you can get 50, 60, 70 per foothold. Yeah. So it would cut it in half, basically. But that would be my guess as to how they'd nerf it, if they were going to nerf the chest acquisition in Silver Race. Chat, you can only open 30 bandit chests per day per account.
Tady's got it. Don't give him ideas. But yeah.
I mean, Tady doesn't even like... Tady comes to my stream. Tady doesn't even like farming. But chat also says, I used to think Aaron was being hyperbolic, but now I see he's always been right about the dailies. Dude, I've been telling you. It's something I've ranted about on my stream since, like, specifically this last episode of Living World. It's just... with them putting so many daily syncs and achievements too. Achievements are often daily syncs.
Yeah.
And with them just cramming them into the game, I've been seeing the direction this has been going for a while. And stuff like this just reinforces just reinforces that for me, that that's the direction they're taking, is they want you on a daily treadmill. Fashion Wars is still good though, so I'll still play.
Also rude. Yeah. Well, now you've depressed me for crying out loud. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm a couple of people that I've talked to about the unidentified gear changes think that it's gonna help. I mean, what they posted about was that it was gonna help you with your inventory management and whatnot. I'm like, I don't know about that. Um, I think if you're not salvaging, it won't really help
I
your
think
your
I think if you're
inventory.
playing,
But if
yeah,
you're salvaging, then yes, I can see how
I
that would.
I think if you're playing Guild Wars 2 in 2019 and you still don't know how to manage your inventory, you need to stop playing.
But you can't say that because there are new players out there.
You either sink or swim with the inventory. It's sink or swim out there, all right. You better make those 8-slot bronze bags quick because it's gonna fill up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
don't know. I'm a farmer. I've always been a farmer in
yeah.
MMOs. I played MMOs since mid early 2000s, and that was, in those older MMOs, farming was, you had to. It was something you
Mm-hmm.
did, right?
Right.
And so that's ingrained in me as an MMO player. So that's the type of guy I am. And I don't want to be on a daily treadmill. And if the game goes that way, I'll probably simply dial back the amount of hardcore goals I go for, right? Because when I go for a hardcore goal, I farm it. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
And if they take that away from me as an acquisition method, I'm probably just going to be like, all right, well, I have 10 legendaries and countless cool skins. I like the way all my characters look. I'm done with legendaries now because I
Until they
can't farm.
release one that looks nice, and then you're like, I want it.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can just open my wallet and buy gold for money. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Easy
But would you?
legendary.
But would you do that?
I don't know. If they take away silver waste, maybe. What am I going to do? My daily tier 4 fractal for 20 gold a day and some cheeky ascended stuff? No. The answer is no. I'm not going to do that.
Josh says just get 40 accounts.
Yeah, we could go down that road. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I've ranted enough about that. Everybody knows my feelings on that.
Yes. Yes. Aaron is not a fan of multi accounts.
Cheating. Cheating.
So, oh, it seems a bit like a good segue here. Speaking of cheating,
Hmm.
PvP win trading was a thing that came up again
I didn't hear
this
much
week.
about this, but the thing that perturbed me most about this is how often we hear about this.
Yes. Yes. I don't.
Uh,
So there was a post on Reddit for those of you who don't know. There was a post on Reddit that was basically calling out one of the top higher tier
I think two of
PvPers.
the top 10 ranked
Yeah.
PvPers on the leaderboard.
And on their alt accounts for PvP win trading and threatening people for not throwing matches and bribing people for to throw matches. Um, and some bans happened. Um,
What's the point of playing competitive game mode if you just I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess it's just that cool to have your name on the Guild Wars 2 legendary leaderboard.
I mean,
Like
it's like the whole competitive. I mean, we've talked about this. The whole competitive, like serious competitive aspect of PvP in this game. It's like it's kind of died.
it's not a dead game mode,
No, it's not a dead
but
game mode.
it's not in great shape.
Mm-mm. No.
It's especially this last season because I played in the season that was November through January,
Yes.
and that season the queue times weren't too bad. We were doing all right. This season though, very very long queue times. Not a lot of people are playing. People they've done a balance patch which we discussed last episode if you want
Yeah.
to go watch.
Yeah.
But since so much of this season was the balance from the previous season that people hated, um, a lot of people weren't playing very much this season.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty low pop, pretty weak. Um,
And they put out a post earlier this week. I'm not sure what day it was because I don't have it linked, but I'm remembering it that they're wanting people's feedback on new PvP titles for the next
Hmm.
tournament that they want to run.
I like
Um,
stuff like that. I like unique rewards for PvP. Like, I think if you get on that leaderboard, yeah, that's a sick title. And if they change the titles out every time, it makes the title mean something when you have
right.
it. You know, I like stuff like that, and handing it over to the community to kind of because it doesn't really matter, right? So like handing it over to us is a fun thing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
We just need to figure out a way to stop the win trading.
But yeah,
Or
the
it
win
does.
trading depress. It's just depress. Like it's
It's
like
just depressing, yeah.
you can't do anything about it. People are always going to do it. I wish they'd
Didn't.
be more aggressive towards punishing that,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't like punishing heavy PvPers because the game needs all the help it can get. So, to quote MMO Inc.'s slap on the wrist,
Yeah, slap
right?
on the wrist.
I
That's
don't know what
essentially what
happened
it
to
is.
these two particular win traders because by the time I got into it, the post had been deleted from Reddit
Yeah.
and I didn't see much of the story on it. So I don't know what actually happened to these two, if they got banned or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I saw that they did get some kind of disciplinary action, but what all it was, I missed the posts. But what are you gonna do?
Hmm.
I think that until ArenaNet decides to take a hardline stance against them, it's just gonna continue,
Yep.
um, which is unfortunate.
I, yeah, and hardware bans are a thing that exist, and I wish they'd do it more.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, ArenaNet does not do hardware bans. I've never
No,
heard of them doing
I've
one.
never heard of them doing it. They just seem to just ban or
They just do
suspend an
account bans. I
account.
don't even think they do IP bans. They just ban accounts,
Hmm.
which does nothing. In PvP, it does nothing.
Yeah.
You don't need a pimped out account to play PvP.
Mm-mm. No, not
You
the way
just
that the
need to
game was
spend
designed.
15, yeah, you just need to spend $15 on Path of Fire on Amazon and boom, you're competitive if you're a good player.
Yeah.
So, I really wish they would do hardware bans for PvP stuff, but I don't like I said, it's a underpopulated game mode and they want people in it.
Yeah.
And having people ranked on those leaderboards it looks good, and a lot of those people stream and have a following. Also, a lot of the top 100 players
Yeah.
are big, not big, but like if you want to go watch Guild Wars 2 PvP, you probably watch one of these guys.
Right.
So that's why they're reluctant to discipline those people.
I don't PvP very often, if at all. But so when I go in, it's just to have fun. So if and it's always going to be that if you have people who are, like I said, just kind of just, all right, if you want to get your wins that way and get up your rank, I don't not liking.
I enjoy the PvP in Guild Wars 2. I think it's fun, but I get in my own head too much playing it. Like I'll go in and I'll be playing okay, and I'll make a stupid mistake, and I'll be like mad at myself, and then I'll keep making
Making
stupid
mistakes.
mistakes, and
Yeah.
then it just makes me angry, and it's just I get too angry with it. I guess
Yeah.
I did a lot of it the last couple months to get Ascension done,
Right.
but I haven't touched it since finishing Ascension.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just get too mad with it.
Yeah.
And Chad
So
makes a good point. It highly depends on balance, whether they
yes.
like it or not. Yeah, and I wasn't a fan of where Mirages and Necromancers were in the last balance patch, so that kind of affected my desire to play as well.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with PvP going forward. Hopefully,
Yep.
ArenaNet will figure out how they want to. Um,
Oh, and chat makes also a good point that they said that you're going to get to keep your old title for the PvP ones. They're making changes to, so that's cool.
yeah. Wouldn't I? Yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't. Have
I
they taken away titles in the
some
past? I
some
mean,
some competitive games will take away stuff season to season. It's a reasonable thing to ask to wonder
okay.
about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know because I don't do the whole get in your face and
Yeah,
completely lost.
I'm not gonna be able to keep my my number one Big Daddy Tetris 99 title next season.
Moving
Number
on.
one King Blockhead.
King Blockhead, yeah. All right, so next week, we are getting Super Adventure Box.
Yep.
It's back. And it looks like they showed a new area, perhaps, with the trailer.
Did they?
They put out something. I don't know what it was. Where did that
It
thing
was just
go?
a it's just a little SAB Choya running around Radisum. That's
Is
all
that,
I saw.
that's all you saw?
I don't know enough about SAB to know if they showcase. I played through the whole thing one time.
Well, the one, I
I didn't
mean,
do it on Tribulation.
so the background that I'm seeing there, though, on it, because it's on the little blog post. Hang on a second, let me mute myself. Um, yeah, so new reward, I guess.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, they always do a new set of rewards every time
yeah.
they bring it back. Yeah, so that's not surprising. What color are they?
I don't know, but this little Choya
Are
is
they
really.
purple? Please tell me they're purple.
I
I
don't
think
know. I'm
purple.
watching the
I
little
think purple.
Choya run
I think
around.
purple's the best color for those types of. Although the red set is really cool. The red sets are really cool.
The red sets are nice. I will say
Yeah.
that. I didn't. I know I sold pieces for it because I don't really
Jo-
care
uh,
about SAB as much as other people do.
I don't either. One Josh, he's actually in the Twitch chat. One thing he turned me on to from SAB is the infusion that you can get.
Yeah.
It's a very cool infusion. You get these cool little Asura blocks that like go around you. It's very cool. Like if you have a tech centric Asura, it's like a must have.
Yeah.
You have
I,
to
it,
play a
I,
ton of SAB though.
I'm wondering if the toy that they're showing is a tonic or something as a reward.
And yeah, that's what chat's saying is that it's I don't know if they're saying that it's for sure a tonic or probably a tonic.
Because
Um
that's what it looks like to me.
yeah, probably a good guess, tonic or a mini, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the elephant in the room. I mean, Josh Foreman is gone, so if you're expecting a new world, you maybe
I
not.
mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Hmm.
So we talked about the layoffs already, no need to go into that, right?
Right.
But the idea that this guy left, so no more of this,
No,
seems far fetched
I
to
think
me.
that he would have left things in place that other people could pick up on.
I mean, it's not his; it's ArenaNet's. You
Right,
can't take
exactly. He
SAB
can't
with
just take it
him.
with him.
Yeah, so they have all the source code and stuff there.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure other people, like I know that he came up with it and did most of the first launch for it by himself, but I'm sure since then other people worked with him on it and know how to make it. Right? So I would say it's going to be okay, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. But a new world, maybe I don't know about that. Right?
Uh, One thing, just tying back to that, the whole arena layoff thing is it looks like they have offered at least one position back to an employee who was laid off, so they've taken him
I
back.
wouldn't I wouldn't come back. I would be like, screw you guys.
Well, this guy, who
But
I believe
here's the
is one of
thing,
the
that guy's
Ray
like,
devs, is back.
I was gonna say though, I probably would go back though, because I'd probably still be trying to find work at this point. So in the interest of getting a paycheck, I'd be like, yeah, I guess. I
But
hope they give him a raise.
who knows? I think
Who
it's
knows?
cool though if they're able to restructure and get some of these people back, and
Hmm.
it works out. Then hey, why not?
Yeah, for sure. Can't hate on someone getting their job back. That's always a good thing.
Uh, yeah, and QD points out that it's a small fraction of the community. Josh Foreman mentioned this on his stream that it's a small fraction of the community that actually likes SAB, and I could have told you that.
Most people don't care.
I don't care.
Here's what I say this every time it gets brought up, and I genuinely think this might seem crazy, but I genuinely think ArenaNet should do this. I think they should finish SAB and sell it as its own game on Steam.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
Not on this show, but on previous show.
it's bigger than some actual games.
Yeah.
Like by itself, it's perfect. It's for like a $5 to $10 game.
Sure.
Could absolutely
Put
work.
it on a
Like
console.
yeah, I absolutely think they should do that. I know that seems wild,
SAB
but
99.
it's so far removed from the game anyway. Like,
Yeah, it really is.
so yeah, I don't know. I think that's what they should do with it. I don't think it should be a festival inside of an MMO
Yeah,
because it's cool. What it is cool.
sure,
And if you like 3D platform, 3D retro platformers, it's like a dream come true, right?
sure.
And people would buy that
People would buy it. And
on like $5 to $10. People would buy that,
who knows?
you
Maybe
know?
this was one of the canceled projects they were working on. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I mean,
Who knows?
yeah, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Chat Epic exclusive. Yeah, put it on the Epic Games Store.
Oh, I saw you tweeting about that. People were losing their minds over a new game store being out there. I don't get it.
The
What?
chat's one upping themselves. Google Stadia exclusive. Oh boy.
Oh, Lordy. So that'll keep
That's good
people
memes,
entertained
chat.
for a couple of weeks. SAB.
Yeah, do you play it when it comes back?
Mm, not really, no.
All
I
right.
tend to not, only because it makes me quite motion sick,
Hmm.
since it's a lot of jumping.
And it's a very smooth frame rate too, compared to the rest of Guild Wars 2 because it's so simple. I find I can usually get if I take my frame rate limiter off, I can run SAB at like 120
Yeah.
FPS. So,
So yeah, but it does tend to make me motion sick. There are certain things in this game that that will trigger up my motion sickness, and that SAB without a doubt always does. So I tend to be very careful, and I've gone to boxing, using windowed mode and making sure that I've got edges so that I can see, and it's still a
mhm.
bit it's still a bit of a tricky thing for me.
Just a lot of constant up and down movements, stuff like that.
Yeah, and since I suck at jumping, so I'm constant.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
One of my biggest stresses in my hardcore Iron Man on Guild Wars 2 is
JP's
doing anything jumping related because
JP's.
I fall.
Oh yeah.
I had to do you know what wall breach blitz is?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So you have to do that whole jumping puzzle to get a hero point
A hero
in
point and the
GSA
Vista.
Plateau.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I had to do that on my
That
permadeath Iron
that
Man.
was the first jumping puzzle that I attempted, I think, with one of my first characters.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was sad how long it took me. My hands would just get sweaty. It was just so bad.
I was so
I had a couple
thankful.
players, other players that were like helping me try along, and I was like, "Please, you're just making me. I'm putting more pressure
Right,
on
yeah.
myself because you're helping me.
Yeah.
Just go away
Because
and
you're
let me
like, ah,
die."
they're gonna think I'm stupid.
Yeah. So,
But I was so thankful I'd already done map completions on my main account because
yeah.
I was able to get it done without dying.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
now
it
I
was
can do it without a
stressful.
problem, but it's that, yeah. Oof. But yeah, me
Yeah,
and JPs are never
it
a
is
fun thing.
stressful. But chat also saying that they want to do it nonstop and get the infusion. Other people saying they want to beat all the zones on all the difficulties. I have played through the first world, up through the
Yeah.
Toad boss. I have not played World 2, but I've watched several full playthrough videos of
I've
World 2.
done I've played through World 1, and I've done, was it the baby mode on
Ah, you
World
played the
2?
baby mode?
Hell yeah, I did. Rainbows,
Hilarious.
man.
I remember my first time I got to the Toad boss, I couldn't figure out what to do. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. But we managed. I think the first time I beat it actually was when we did it on stream for
Yeah,
Guild
you and I
Mag.
did it. You're right.
Yeah,
For Guild Mag.
2016.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I think that was the first time I beat it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
truly beat it.
We had somebody was helping us and was telling us like what to do.
Mm,
Sad times,
yeah,
guys. If you want
yeah.
to laugh, go and find that old video. I don't even know where. Is it on? Did we do it as just a regular stream, or was it? I think it must have been a regular stream. So it
I
might be
think it
on
was,
like Guild Mag's Twitch
yeah,
if
probably
you
the
guys want to
VOD's probably
laugh.
still there. But yeah,
Yeah.
chat saying the SAB experience for vet players is excited for the first 2 to 3 days, and after that, praying it'll be over soon.
Yeah.
I don't pray it'll be over. Like it's there for people who want to play
Sure,
it.
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
just don't care. You
Yeah.
know.
I know.
The colored weapons are cool though. I don't. The weapons are too not in universe for me to use. Like a literal 8-bit weapon. I'm like, come on. So
No.
I can't. They're cool, but they just don't make any sense. So
Yeah.
I don't use them.
Josh is laughing at the fact that I went Baby Realm SAB, but I will kill Doom. Dude, Yes.
Completely different.
JP's, totally do it on baby mode. It's fine. It's just
I would
this is
rather.
why I don't take my Mesmer out to portal JP's. Unless been portaled myself, then I'll drop a couple of portals to help other players, and I'm like, right, bye, bye, thanks. Yeah,
I would rather raid than do tribulation SAB.
yeah,
I'm not
dude.
gonna lie to you.
There you go.
And I don't raid.
I know, but you're gonna.
Chat saying the sound effects are really cool. I have heard the good sound effects. Again, they're not the sound effects that I want in my Guild Wars 2, though. So
This is on the Warhorn of the SAB weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
still
heard
not
it.
into. They are cool sound effects. I'm not. That's not the sound effects that I want with my Guild Wars 2 experience, unfortunately. So they just kind of don't work.
See,
Yeah,
well,
it's coming back for anyone who wants to play it.
Tati will play more if we get purple weapons is the next
That's
color.
what I'm saying. Purple would be a great
Purple would
color,
be.
right? It'd be a great color. If we're going to through the rainbow, we got blue, we got red, orange, yellow, green, blue,
Blue. So, well,
right?
no, I thought we already
So
had blue.
purple. No, we did. I was just ordering them in rainbow
All
order.
right.
So
Red, orange, yellow, green,
purple,
blue.
yeah,
Yeah.
purple
Purple
should be
should be
the next
coming.
one, guys. Yeah, if they're going by the rainbow, purple should be the next one. You heard it here first. It's probably already data mined. Reddit's probably all like, we've known for months that it was going to be purple. Okay, Reddit, congratulations.
Yeah. Well.
Take your sticker.
So that's coming. That's next week, and who knows when we're gonna be getting episode 6.
Yeah, because they
Probably.
don't like doing Living World releases on top of festivals. They
No.
don't do that.
So my money is on after SAB before April Fools.
Yeah, it's funny because I
But
think
actually,
that
no, not before April Fools, because this is gonna actually go through April Fools. So we're gonna be getting SAB, and we'll probably get an April Fools at the same time.
Mhm. Oh yeah, no, they'll do April Fools on April Fools. This is just one
Yeah.
day, you know.
So SAB, and then hopefully episode 6.
Mhm. It's funny because they have this 2 to 3 month cadence, right? And what's been wrecking them on it isn't their lack of development; it's been their
Their
sheer
festival.
amount of festivals.
Yeah.
That's what wrecks them on it every time. Like
Yeah.
they just get boned by their own festival schedule.
They should
It's
just
like, guys, just release a Living World and a
I know.
festival. The
It's okay.
festivals, the
We'll still go.
festivals are on button press mode. Like I know it's not that simple, but in terms of putting things into an MMO, the festivals are as close to button press mode as it's possible to get, right?
Without hopefully breaking things.
And I
There you
think
go.
the players would really have more faith in them if they did stick to that
Yeah.
development cadence.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's worth postponing for festivals like they do. I think they're hurting themselves doing that. Because it's like chat said earlier, a minority of people play SAB.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not worth putting it off just for Mario nerds, right?
Mario nerds. SAB's been reduced to Mario nerds by Aaron. You heard it here first.
Yeah,
folks.
confirmed.
Sorry. So, what else are they? They've also got going on. They're going to be at Resd in London on the 5th, which is is not this coming week, but the week after.
It's kind of the UK. It's Gamescom is Europe's, but the UK's kind of go-to gaming
GX
convention
Res.
is Res, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are gonna bring the Jackal statue, so we'll see the Twitter feed full of people mounted up on the Jackal statue.
What do you think happened to that griffin? Was it just
I think
sitting in storage now?
Jackal is in the EU offices because didn't they take it to the one in Paris?
So instead of shipping a statue back and forth, the Jackal goes to EU and the Griffin comes here.
Yeah. I think
I bet the Griffin's here, and they had a Jackal over there. Yeah. But I bet they've got a Jackal here too.
It would be, I mean, PAX Prime, right? PAX West would be the place to like throw that out because didn't they have the Griffin last year?
I believe they did. You'd think they would do more stuff at PAX West, but they don't. really.
I mean, it's literally in their backyard.
They usually do their meetup and then they don't actually do anything on the convention
They
floor
should,
because I think it's ludicrously expensive to get space at PAX, and so it's probably just not worth the money for
I
them
think
to
what
space
would
there.
be cool for their meetup this year would be to have them out outside.
That probably would be cool. It would
Yeah.
probably also get a lot of people like, "Hey, cool mount, can we go in?" And they're just like,
I know.
unless they do what they did in 2017 and are just like, "Everyone's welcome, come inside."
Yeah, they did do that. And then they
The
had players.
the,
Then they
the
had players
VIP
from
line, the
yeah,
VIP line, quote unquote.
and then they had players from other games kind of invading the in-it party. It was hilarious.
The VIP line that was longer than the normie line.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, that
that
was
was
funny.
great.
We're like, yeah,
I
we got
want
VIP
to
passes. Wait, why are we waiting in line?
we're like we're on a list, and they're like, yeah, back of the line. So is everyone else.
It was legit. That's how exactly how it happened, guys. Because
They
we were
made
on that
they
list.
made Jebra walk to the back of the line.
Dude, they made us all walk to the back of the line.
Yeah, dude.
We were all
Jebra
on
was
that.
waiting in the back with the rest of us. It was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, but we
2017
were on the
PAX
VIP
meetup, y'all.
list, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, so hey,
2017
it
PAX
was
meetup. It
fun.
was wild.
It was fun. However, moving on with this appearance at Rezzed, is they're going to be on a panel on character death,
Yes.
which,
Yes.
since they just killed off our favorite little dragon, she, this is the thing that they've been talking about in interviews the past couple of months. Um, so they'll be doing that. So it'll be good for them to be out at a panel.
They're really smarmy about that, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
They're really smarmy about having had the balls to do it. Like,
they've killed off
Does-
a few of they've killed off Traherne, which everyone, well, not everyone, but several people liked.
they did a Forbes interview,
They
and
did,
now
yeah.
they're doing a panel.
Yeah.
Like, they fancy themselves the George R.R. Martin of video game writing because
my
they
God.
killed off one character one time.
They
They're
didn't
just
just
like,
thing is
we
that
killed off a baby dragon.
they killed off the baby dragon. They killed off, one of your two of your mentors. They've killed off two mentors.
They killed off you.
They killed off you, yeah. So
That's not what they didn't get smarmy about those ones though. They're smarmy about this one.
I did.
They're so smug about it. They're like, no one saw it coming. They're just so self-satisfied about
Aaron
it.
is a little
getting to me.
salty about this, I think.
It's starting to get to me. It really is. It's starting to get to me.
They're talking. The hilarious thing is that everyone. Are we still thinking that she's going to come back in some form? I don't know.
I
wanna
know.
get into this
Actually,
again?
at this point, with the level of smarmy they're being about it, they can't bring her back now. They've been too smug about it. They have to stick with it now.
They have to keep her dead.
You can't do a Forbes interview and a convention panel and then go and backpedal on this.
Look what we
right?
did. We killed her and
Yeah.
we brought her back.
Yeah, it's. I think
No.
I don't think Aurene is done. Right? Like they're going to be like, oh, here's Spirit Aurene to guide you and all that crap. Right?
Right.
But I don't think we're getting physical Aurene back. Not after an EGX panel.
Dude. I still have my mini. She still follows me. I will never change her out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think we're stuck with how things are.
But I was happy that they are going to be on a panel. I will say that.
Yeah, no, there
Because
was pretty fun.
They haven't done a panel at a con in a while. So
Yeah, you're right. They've done press reveals,
They've
but
done-
not actual discussion panels. Yeah,
No.
they have people from ArenaNet have gone on adjacent panels, but they've never done this is ArenaNet panel
so
for sure.
there you go.
Chat George R.R. Martin still wants them to get on his level. I'm just saying they think they are. Like after this, they think they're very edgy. They fancy themselves very edgy right now, and it's it's starting to bother me.
Aaron, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
They're
Right.
so happy with themselves.
It was well done, though. It shocked the crap out of everyone. So, All right. So I think we've been at the end of our topics here. What the heck?
Yeah.
So we've got, by the way, guys, this is now the time for the Gem Store updates. If you haven't been paying attention to their Twitter feed, Guild Wars 2's Twitter feed, there are daily sales in March. March Madness. Today's daily sale is what do we say? Oh, shared inventory slots. So get you
That's a good
presto,
sale. I
presto.
personally think even on sale they're overpriced, but if you're one of these nerds that has to have full shared inventory slots,
Yeah,
now's the time.
I need at least one more.
I'm happy with I got my Mystic Kit, my Copper Fed, and my Teleport to Friends.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. That's enough for me. I got my 3 slots. I'm
But you
covered.
also have your one bank pane, which
I do. Yeah.
I can't and I don't understand. I missed the sale on the
It's not even
bank
full
slots.
either. It's got empty slots in it.
I can't under you don't it just goes against the pack rat in me to hear every time I like see you stream and you're like one bank. I'm like, God, what?
Yeah. It gets to the point where I'm just proud of it now.
I know you
Like,
are
I
proud of it.
like it when people are in my Twitch chat like, how do you only have one bank tab? You
You
know?
see?
And I'm like,
He criticizes ArenaNet for being smug about character death, but he's being smug about the bank tab.
I'm not going to EGX Res
However,
later this month and being like, so this is how you only have one bank tab in MMOs, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to me.
yeah, but you do have your kitted out guild, your solo guild, right? You've got all of
I
that
do have, yeah, I do have the solo guild for
maxed
storage.
out.
250
Storage.
extra storage slots, no big deal.
It's good. It's good stuff. I mean, hey, that's more than I have, so it's good. Uh, all right. The Armistice Bastion, because we haven't talked about that. That came in with the Warclaw as well. Armistice Bastion, the new like little services area in WW.
World v Worlders really like it.
I know.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Apparently, it's very nice. So apparently, it's very visually
appealing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well.
You can pick up the 2-week pass for like 150 gems, and then if you want the perma pass, it's like 1,000 gems.
Sorry, chat. Chat just posted, I only play with one bank tab, AMA. I should legit post that on Reddit and see how many downvotes it gets within 5 minutes.
The Frontline Mount Pack is also in the gem store.
That came out the week after Armistice. Yeah.
I was surprised that they released it just a week after. However, what did surprise me was that they released it as a mount pack.
This is interesting. So they've never done
do that for the beetle.
They've never done a deal like this before. This is a 2,000 gem mount pack.
For one mount.
Well, no, I guess mount packs are always 2,000 gems. They're just always discounted to 1,600.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking they haven't done this. No, this is normal.
But the abnormal thing is that they've done a mount pack for one mount.
Yes, that's the weird thing about it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the beetle doesn't get this attention. So, and they don't retroactively put the beetle skins into your mount packs if you bought previous mount packs. So it's kind of like, is the beetle going to be getting slow? That's my question.
Saying mount packs only came with 4, so it's 2,000 because there's 5 different skins. Well, because before mount packs were different mounts, and now it's one mount, different skins. So this is a very unique.
It's very unique
kind of thing. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good value. You get 5 different Warclaw skins. I have not bought it yet because I haven't looked at the gem store. I just haven't opened it. And I haven't been in World v World on my Warclaw. So, like, the next time I'm on my Warclaw, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I need to buy that pack. Because something people have been saying that I kind of agree with, armor's kind of ugly on the Warclaw. Not great looking.
The eyelashes, the eyelashes look on the front.
And I like all those skins. Like, I think I think they're all cool in their own way. I'll probably use the branded one because I like that one.
Yeah, I like the branded ones. The 2 of the skins though look like the base skin, so just have more dye channels, which I was kind of surprised at.
Well, because one of the more plain ones gives you like a lion head, which I thought was kind of cool. But it's instead of the griffin, which is a male lion, it gives you like a lioness head, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like that one. And of course the fire one is cool because it's fire. Yeah. But I'm a big fan of the branded mount pack, so I'll probably use the branded Warclaw.
I always like the blinginess of the branded.
It's a good deal though.
It is.
Yeah, it's a good deal money-wise. So if you have money for 2K gems and you want these, I would get it.
And then the other thing that came out this week was the Wyvern Roost Scepter, which
it's okay. Do you not like it?
No.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
It's a little tacky.
It is a little tacky.
It's a little tacky.
It's
It
got
looks
the
kind
egg
of
and it's
like
got the wyvern. It's no.
it looks kind of like a stage prop I would have made for a high school play in 11th
Yes.
grade. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I'm not gonna buy it.
I won't either. No. But if you want it, it's 600 gems.
Yeah,
And
well, the reason I said it's okay is because it's like the dragon's kind of cool, but the colors clash,
yeah,
and it comes across as
creepy.
cardboard, painted cardboard. So
I'm not a fan of it, but
yeah,
I'm sure there are people out there who like it, and hey, that's fine.
chat says all the Khaleesi RPs are going to be really happy. Yeah, for sure. All the Game of Thrones nerd lords are going to be super into it.
Sure, sure. The other thing that we didn't mention was the Earthbound backpack and glider as an
Yes,
uncommon BLC drop.
Black Lion chest garbage.
Drop.
Yes, it's actually a cool glider, for what it's worth.
I'm pulling it
I
up
like
because I don't think I even saw it.
I like the glider. It's got some glowy
Oh.
bits, you know.
Why is this called Etherbound? Did I read Earthbound? Yeah, I was like, I don't get why this would be called. It's Ether.
I read her.
You wrote
No, I
Earthbound.
think well, because I do the notes, right? So I bet
Yeah.
I wrote Earthbound
You
because
did
I
write
read
Earthbound, and
I
so I
read
read it, and
Earthbound.
I was like,
Yeah.
why is this cool? And then I
Is
see
it Etherbound?
It's Etherbound, so that's why
Gotcha.
it's sparkly.
All
Because
right,
I
that's
was
my
like,
bad, guys. That's my
when you
bad.
said that it's got some cool glowy bits, and I was like, huh, Earth glowy? It was this ley line stuff, but no, it's Etherbound, and Aaron just trolled me.
It's cool, but
It
I'm
is
not gonna open. I'm not gonna buy Black Lion keys for it.
No, it's kind
Like not when I have the Forge glider. I'm sorry, but like the Forge glider killed any further glider purchases for me. It's the surfboard one.
the surfboard one is cool. It's
Yeah.
really good.
That's like if I have a character and I don't know what glider I want to use, that one will always work. So I now no longer ever need to buy a glider ever again.
Did you
But yeah.
ever get the speaking of well, since I mentioned SAB, the SAB glider, the one that you're on a cloud?
I don't like how the graphical style clashes with the rest of the game, so I don't use any SAB things.
But the glider's cool.
But it doesn't fit.
Okay. The glider's cool, guys. It's going to be
doesn't
coming
work.
back into the gem store, so keep your eye out for it.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. So, that's the end of our gem store news. Wow.
Yeah, I know 3 weeks and not really that much. I mean, the mount
the
pack is a
daily-
big deal.
And the dailies that are coming out, the daily sales.
Yeah, the daily sales, which like it would be pointless to like say this was on sale, not
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, no.
But those were
just
cool.
Keep your eye out for whatever else they're going to be releasing in the remainder of March.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I like the mount pack. Not big on the scepter. I don't buy those exclusive area passes, but I hear Armistice Bastion is good. It's probably you want to buy it if you're a World v Worlder, but if you're PvE, you probably just
Do
you're gonna
you
want to
not
use your
have the
Mistlock pass.
Mistlock? You don't have
No.
Mistlock?
No,
Ooh, Mistlock is so much fun.
it costs 2 cents to waypoint to Divinity's Reach. Like, come on, costs 2 cents.
I have the Crown Pavilion Terrace Pass, whatever it is, the one in DR as well, and I never use it anymore because I've got
As-
Mistlock now.
As far as I've heard, Mistlock is objectively the best one.
It really is.
Like the other, like it has things the other ones don't have, so
Yeah.
it's the best one. Yeah.
Although well, like I said, Armistice has gotten such good reviews. I haven't been there yet because I don't have either the perma or the temporary one. But I might check it out at some point. Who knows?
Chat, I don't know how you can live without Mistlock. I mean, you've watched my stream for like dozens of hours.
He has one
you've-
rank tab. That's
you've
how he lives
watched me.
without Mistlock.
You've watched me live without Mistlock. It's
I
just I just waypoint to DR a lot.
He does.
So that's literally
He
it. I just
hangs out
waypoint to
by
DR
that
all the time.
minister's waypoint.
Yeah. I live at Minister's Waypoint. And trust you guys, Minister's Waypoint is weird.
It really
Minister's
is.
Waypoint is the Xingje Monastery of Guild Wars 2. All right. all the weird people hang out there.
Well, I mean, you get some weird RPers there, but you also get some weird RPers down at like the Grove.
We went to Black Citadel once on the stream.
Did you?
Fun fact, Black Citadel, RP capital of Guild Wars 2.
I don't know about that.
Actually,
I run
we're-
into
'cause I-
more RPers in the Grove than in Black Citadel.
I was walking around and I was just like, why are there so many players here? And they're all in these little clumps
Yeah.
together, and it's because they're all cheeky little char peers, char peers, if you will.
Char Piers. There you go.
Yeah, and apparently it's a big thing that people do in Black Citadel. I had no
See,
idea.
these are the things I don't know because I don't RP.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys. Final thing that we have in our notes is community announcement, really, for a community member, Wolfie, who, if you have seen, I mean, a couple player, I think we also retweeted it, but there's a player.
Inks really put out some effort to publicize this.
He did a really good job getting the awareness out to all the podcast teams. But Wolfie, Goddess Wolfie, in game, she is in need of a kidney transplant. So if you are interested in helping her out somehow, either just getting the word out, really, um, yeah, she needs a kidney to save her
Yep.
life. So just a shout out, and we hope that she finds one soon.
Hmm.
We'll put the link in our show notes, which will go up on our YouTube video for it. So yeah. So hopefully Wolfie will get a kidney soon. But if you are able to get the word out, help her get the word out. Yeah, hopefully she'll be able to do that or get that soon, because that, you know, important organs.
Very much so.
You have anything else, Aaron?
I think we did the rundown.
We did.
We did the rundown. Wow, covered all these weeks.
Mm-hmm. And
We're all caught up now.
we're caught up now.
I'm so sad about the instant nerf.
I know you are. But you just think you get to go and get some more desert
Oh
sand out in the
God.
silver wastes.
I don't know how many vine rats I have left in me. They need to nerf it because I don't know how many I can do. I've been doing it for so long.
I can't believe you just said that.
One last job.
Didn't we just say earlier, don't give them ideas?
uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do because there's still legendaries I want. I want Ferris. I want hopefully a legendary that will come out with the end of season 4. I
Yeah,
want
which is
two
what, the great
underwater
sword? The
legendaries.
great sword is the one that is left.
I don't know. Well, the great sword, but I'm counting on them doing a trinket too, like
Yeah.
they did with Aurora.
So
So I'd like that to happen.
oh, you're not gonna go for the one coalescence, are you? Since
No.
you've got a raid,
Yes, not for me.
dude. You could come with us on Monday nights. We've got Doom on farm. Come on.
And how far along are you on Coalescence?
I don't know. I got pieces of it. I've got to do. I've got on all the drops from the raids that I needed, and I've just got to do the other open worldy stuff. Which
So
when am I gonna do that?
it's
I've
not
got to finish.
difficult.
I've got to
Is
finish
what
my
you're saying.
legendary armor. That's kind of my priority. I could care less about a trinket right now.
I only need like a couple hundred gold left to finish it, and
Well, I've got
I
to
don't want.
finish farming up my currency. I've got ley line crystals still to farm up a bit more. So I got
Oh
to
yeah,
go play Tango Bit.
you're making PVE legendary armor.
Yeah, because
Lol.
well, hey, it animates, so
No, it's technically better than mine. I'm doing the most poor. I'm doing it the most poor man's way possible. I'm doing 3 pieces from PvP and 3 pieces from World v World,
who cares,
and
right?
then and then transmuting them ASAP as soon as I have them
I
legendary.
mean, all you need is this. It's the stat swapping that really is the life
Yeah,
saver.
I don't even care about the stat swapping. I just am sick of being the guy that doesn't have legendary armor.
Yeah,
I'm literally just doing it so I can be like, yeah, I have it.
yeah. So yeah, so that's what we got going on. One final thing, because I see that this is still in our show notes. We're putting the podcast up on Google Play and iTunes. I had a brainwave today while I was driving home, and that's that we need a website for in order to do that to get an RSS feed for the podcasts. So we'll have to pull together a cheapy little website of some sort for our show.
Yeah, something like that, where it
So
can kind of pile everything together.
yeah. So we'll get that together because that should be pretty easy to pull together. I can throw that together in a couple hours, and then get those feeds going.
Let's
for us.
get sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace sponsor us. We'll make a website.
Because reasons. Oh man. All right. Well, that is gonna do it for episode 5, I think.
Yep, I think that's it.
Yeah. We will be back. Are we gonna be back next week? Or are we gonna be back the week after to keep going
Prob-
back on our 2 week cadence?
we're probably just going to make this be the new 2 week cadence,
Yeah.
and then go 2 weeks after this.
Because let's be real, we're kind of lazy. So,
Yeah. Well, we need a fresh buildup of topics to
right.
be able to cover our
And
massive time slot.
yeah. So 2
So
weeks.
yeah, probably 2 weeks for 2 weeks out.
2 weeks
It's a
from
new
now.
it's a new cadence.
It's a new-
Here's the cadence of the show. Whenever we do an episode, in 2 weeks will be the next episode unless we cancel.
Right. So hopefully that
And
won't happen again.
yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. We will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you to everyone who hung out and chat with us and put up with our craziness. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
See you later, guys.
Good night, guys.